Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about some basic watercolor techniques and gradient shading. So, before you begin, it's good to have the following things all ready. I have a messy mat here. I've got my paper that I'll be painting on. I have a water tray and my brushes and of course my paint set. Now I'm going to be using the cool and the warm colors for this. So, you'll notice on a basic watercolor set, they're always going to be near each other. You've got red, orange, and yellow, and then green, blue, and purple. Watercolors are very hard. They need water to activate them. So one thing I do before I begin is put a little drop of water in each of the colors I know that I'll be using. If you can see that or not, but that way the water will soak in and make the paint more usable. It just takes a moment or so to do that. Okay, now, for this particular project, I'm having you use a single sheet of paper folded down the middle. Because each side will be a different color group, I think a great way to try this is to simply have it folded over to avoid the cool colors bleeding into the warm. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started. I like to begin by wetting my paper first, okay? This way, the water can spread nice and smoothly across the paper. I'm going to start with the warm colors. Here I'm going to be using red first as my darkest tone of the three, and I'm going to go ahead and just start at the very top and go across the paper. As you can see here, it looks really nice and it's kind of, it's very wet and watery. And I'm going to just keep going down. Notice how I just dipped my brush in very, very softly and I didn't need to grind it into the paint. And look at that. I'm still going with the same, oh, it's probably kind of bright there. There you go. Now you can see that. The same first dip into the red. Okay. Now right away you can probably tell that it's darker at the top and getting lighter and lighter. It's fading lighter because I'm just simply spreading the color out. Now, to darken the top even more, just continue adding layers. Don't add more water. Just gently dip it back in the red and then add another layer. Okay, and then do the same thing. Just let it spread out. Again, with the paper itself being nice and moist from the water, it will spread nice and evenly. It should. Okay, sorry there's a glare. All right, now decide when you feel like it's dark enough at the top and you're ready to move on to your new color. Notice how I went about halfway down the paper as we go. Now, if you're finding you're getting some breakage, that's what this is. And see a little streaky here? No worries. This is really easy to fix. Instead of putting my brush back in the paint, all I'm going to do is just brush water over it. Water kind of fixes everything with watercolors. It just gives you a second chance to start over, almost erases. And there, I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, this is kind of bright with that flare. Anyway, just continue to wet the paper if it's starting to feel dry. Okay, and then I'm going to dip it in the orange. My orange could use a little more water in it. Okay, there we go. And it right around the middle here. I know that's going to look really dark, but we're going to blend it all in. I'm going to go ahead and just sort of bring that together with the red. So what we want is kind of a reddish orange. And then same thing as before, it's going to fade into a really, really, really soft orange as I start to spread it downward more and more. Okay. All right, there's that. And then here, I don't want to see a line dividing the two colors. I really want, as best as possible, a nice even blend. So if it's looking too orange, where you have it in more of a red zone, just add more red to it and a little bit more water, and you can just kind of keep playing with it. The nice thing about using thicker paper is that it really can handle a good amount of water. You don't want puddles, but you do want it to be nice and wet so that you can easily do those mixtures, okay? And it's actually looking nice and smooth, I think, coming along very nicely. I'm going to go ahead and continue to wet all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to work with my last color of the three, which is yellow. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the orange and red. I want my yellow and orange to blend together a little. If you feel it's getting too yellow, you need more orange, add a little bit more orange, but just a little. If you feel it's getting too orange and you need more yellow, add a little bit of water and spread it out some more. Okay. I'll finish this up here and then hold it up again. Sorry about the glare. Okay, let's see. I'll hold it this way. It's very pretty. Nice and soft, nicely blended. If you feel like, okay, it's a little dark here, but then almost white here, just kind of, again, just keep brushing with your brush back and forth. Add more layers of colors you need to, and it's really fun to do. Okay, then I would let this dry and repeat the process on the other side with the cool colors, starting with purple to blue to green. Okay, have fun.